What is going on, guys? It's your buddy Double D, and welcome back to another Division weapon review. By popular demand, today we're going to be taking a look at the tactical AUG high-end weapon that you get from a blueprint vendor in the Dark Zone. So, before we jump into all of that, a couple of things. Number one, thank you so much to everybody that stopped out by the channel over the last couple of days. The last video had over 5,000 views in one day, which is huge for my measly 232 subscribers. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for all the comments on Reddit and the posts, the suggestions. I love it. Keep them coming. Number two, I apologize in advance. If you hear my daughter in the background, I've got her right next to me. What can I say? I got to be a dad first. So I apologize for that, to the extent that any dad would apologize for taking care of his daughter. So, with that being said, let's jump right into this commentary. We're going to take a look at this crafted AUG right here. And just so you guys know, at the end of the video, if you just want to skip to that, I'm going to have some clips of me running through the Dark Zone using the Vector, using the AUG, and using the MP5, and you guys can kind of see what all of that looks like. So, let's jump into this. You can see that the damage on the submachine gun that I have here, the AUG is a little higher than it was on the MP5. It's 11.2k damage per bullet. Rounds per minute, 725, and the rounds in the magazine are going to be 25. So that's pretty good. I got a decent roll. I ended up with brutal headshot damage bonus, which is nice. Responsive, increased damage when close to the target, so it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. And then adept, using a skill increases your critical hit by 7.5% for 5 seconds. So that's pretty decent. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into this right here. Boom. Okay, fantastic. And as usual, without any recoil. Sorry, without any recoil control, that's what I meant. And now with recoil control. Now, somebody was complaining about my video the other day, and one of the things I said was, you're never going to be that close to a target. Well, I am, but maybe you won't be. So here we go. Here's a downrange. No recoil control. So you see, it's pretty straight up. And recoil control. So it's manageable, even at a distance. Now, the downside to this weapon is going to be its magazine size. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. The best magazine size is going to be something like the Midas or the MP5, because those come with 32 bullets in the magazine. Once you put an extended mag on, you're going to get anywhere from 60 to 64 bullets in the magazine total. We're going to take a look at the AUG today with this extended mag. And that's going to jump us up to 47 bullets in the magazine and 937 rounds per minute. And angled grip. There we go. These are not optimized mods, by the way. These are just the ones that I have. I'm aware that there are better mods out there. I will get into that in a later video. All right, fantastic. So let's jump back over here to our close encounter. And with no recoil control. Okay, does that happen for anybody else? Your guy decides to fucking sidestep all over the place for no reason? All right, let's try again. There we go. No recoil control. And recoil control. So you see, the recoil control is very manageable at a close distance. Let's take a look what it looks like further away. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. All right, so here's no recoil control. And again with the sidestepping. I don't know if that's a bug or what, but it's irritating. All right, we're going to keep doing that. Maybe if I go into cover. So, I don't know what's going on with this guy. All right, let's try with controlling the recoil. No, we're still gonna sidestep. All right, we're gonna break the system. We're just gonna go right there, right up against the wall. Sidestep now, asshole. Nowhere to go. God. All right, no recoil control. Sorry. Yeah, I see you trying to sidestep, you nerd. And recoil control. Make sure I'm up against this wall. So still very manageable, even at further distances. All right, let's refill. All right, fantastic. So The long story is that we're going to need to compare all of these weapons together, and there's a bunch of math that goes into it. The short version, the too long didn't read version, is here's my personal preference and pretty much why. All right, I prefer them in this order. I prefer the tactical AUG, followed by the Navy MP5, followed by the Vector. The reason for that is that the tactical AUG is kind of middle of the road, all right? The middle of the road weapon that has a good damage per bullet for those headshot crit multipliers. The rounds per minute, it's got a nice fire rate, and it's got a magazine size right in the middle. So I'm not running out of bullets every 5 seconds and having to reload, which, you know, in the middle of a firefight, that can be very annoying. The reason that I'm going to pick the MP5 over the Vector is my personal play style. I like having the high rate of fire and the high magazine size. The damage per bullet does not bother me. Some people it might bother them, and I might be wrong. But for me, the rounds per minute and the magazine size outweigh the headshot multipliers. Followed up by the Vector 45. The only reason that I really enjoy the Vector is because I can craft it over and over again very easily without having to worry about high-end division tech, and it was easily accessible right at the start of the game. So there you go, guys. That is my preference in that order. The tactical AUG, followed by the MP5, followed by the Vector 45 ACP. The only difference between the MP5 and the tactical AUG being that the MP5 is a little more difficult to control than the tactical AUG. I hope you guys found this video informative. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Dark Zone, and we're going to take a look at some of these clips of me farming through some of the level 31 elites. So here you go. We're in the Dark Zone right now. I've got the Vector equipped with all of my attachments, and I'm going to go into this room and clear out some of these elites. The thing to notice about the Vector and to keep in mind is that I don't have Brutal on it, so there's going to be no headshot multiplier bonus, and I also don't have the one that gives me, you know, a damage bonus as I get closer to the target. So the roll is inferior, but what I really want to point out here is you'll notice I'm not able to down multiple enemies with one magazine size. Now some of you might be going, well, that's because your aim sucks. It's quite possible. However, with my playstyle and my lack of aimbot, I need a higher magazine size. So if you find yourself out there and you're having trouble landing your shots, you need something that's a little more forgiving, go ahead and grab yourself something that's got a higher magazine size, such as the AUG or the MP7. All right. So, you know, the rate of fire is good. It's easy to craft without needing a whole lot of materials. But for me, it's still going to be the third choice out of all three of the weapons simply because of the magazine size. It's easier to craft, you can get better rolls, but I just can't deal with the small amount of bullets in the mag. So let's go ahead and jump over now. Let's take a look at the same situation with a different weapon. So here we are, same situation, same place, just different guns. We're going to be using the AUG, and you're going to notice a couple of things, but the big thing is that I'm just chewing through these guys way faster. The main reason for that is because of the Brutal perk that's going to give me the headshot bonus, and the fact that as I get closer to the target within 10 meters, it's going to give me a damage bonus as well. So the perks are going to be the defining difference between all three of these weapons. And that is why I think a lot of people are tending to lean towards the Vector as their preference, because it's easy to craft and it does not require division tech, which is hard to come by these days. And a lot of people would rather be spending their division tech on their gear instead of their weapons. I happen to have plenty of division tech and decent gear, so I said, hey, let's start the series. And then when people started asking me about the other guns, I just kind of committed to it. So the thing about the AUG that I like better than the Vector, talents withstanding, assuming we both had the same rolls, is that it still gets a good damage, but it also has a really high rate of fire, and it's got 47 bullets in the magazine, so it can be a little forgiving with my aim, which, as you can see, has a tendency to kind of go all over the place sometimes, but, you know, console woes. So anyways, that's why I prefer the AUG over the Vector. Let's jump over here and take a look at this MP7. So here we go, same place, just a different angle. And if you notice that my aim is a little off with this MP7, it's because there's a rogue right over here, and I keep trying to decide what I need to do, if I need to commit to this or if I need to go kill him. And I almost die here. Luckily I don't. I'm trying to duck behind cover, but it's not working. Finally, I get behind cover, and I notice that the rogue is right over there. So I'm going to clean this up right here, and I'm going to go see what this rogue is doing. While we're waiting for that to happen, the reason that I really like the MP7 is the high rate of fire and the extremely large magazine size. If you get a good roll on the MP7, it's got to outclass the Vector. It has to. The higher damage from the Vector is negligible compared to the amount of bullets that you're going to get in the MP7. Sorry, lost my train of thought. In the MP7, along with the high rate of fire. So, you know, these are just my personal preferences. By no means is this the law of the land. We're going to go in here and we're going to clean these guys up. The high rate of fire, and it's got a decent range too, so it allows me to kind of eat through these guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys found some good information here. If you did, do me a favor, subscribe and thumbs up the video. It lets me know you like what you're seeing. I'm going to try and get more content out. Let me know in this comment section below if there's something else you want to see. Until next time, I will catch you in the next video. Double D out.